I wandered into the 2009 Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show with no clear plan, without even the vaguest notion of how it all worked. The elaborate point systems, the champions, the grand champions, the nuances of bone and structure that would give me night sweats over the months to come, and at an early press conference I met a Sussex Spaniel named Frank. It was the first I'd ever heard of a Sussex Spaniel, and this one just happened to be featured because his owners were New Yorkers, and thus a good match for the local reporters in attendance. A Sussex is like a stocky Cocker Spaniel with a thick head, long floppy ears, and a beautiful red coat. Members of this breed have the rare ability, Frank's owners told me, to sit up on their haunches, with the top half of their torso upright, front limbs dangling for as long as an hour at a time. I'm not sure why this is a useful skill for a dog or how the hell it ever developed in the first place, but hers demonstrated. The trick was impressive, not to mention adorable to witness. 2 days later, the Sussex Spaniel was a famous breed, after an 11-year-old named Stump emerged from retirement to become the oldest champion in Westminster history, winning the Best in Show title, BIS, in front of 15,000 spectators at Madison Square Garden, and eventually landing on the cover of AARP magazine. He had droopy ears and droopier eyes, and I couldn't help but imagine the voice of the cartoon character Deputy Dog as Stump lumbered around the show ring, winning the biggest prize in the sport over more heavily favored, styled, and coddled dogs like a standard poodle, a giant schnauzer, and a Scottish terrier. To this point, I'd been stressing over how to choose a dog. Stump answered that for me. It didn't matter. Any one of them can be a good story. You just never know. As you'll see with Jack. The truth is, I had no idea what to expect when a series of connections led me to Heather Bremer and Kevin Bednar, a husband-wife handling team who in turn led me to one of their client dogs, a not even 2-year-old Australian Shepherd owned by a single mother from Pennsylvania. Jack was, I thought, a good representative of what I'll call the accessible show dog, undeniably beautiful and special even among other top dogs in his breed, but also a family dog first and foremost. My hope was that his story would be more representative of the experience of the average dog show enthusiast, the person who loves the sport and all that goes with it, but doesn't have the bank account to run ads and jet around the country piling up points in pursuit of best-in-show ribbons at major events like Westminster. On the other hand, it also wasn't impossible that Jack could develop into a star dog in his own right. Even without a major financial backer behind him, he stood a very good chance of becoming one of America's best Australian Shepherds, and also just maybe a contender in the herding group, one of the 7 groups into which show dogs are divided. Part of the fun in choosing an unknown dog was exactly that, the unknown. Over the many months I spent reporting this book, one question in particular seemed to arise whenever the subject came up. Will it be like Best in Show? That Christopher Guest film released in 2000 had a profound effect on the way Americans view the dog show world. People seem to think that, having seen it, they are intimately familiar with this world, which they will almost certainly call crazy or some variant of that adjective. Nuts, freaky, etc. The more surprising thing for me, though, was that so many dog show people wondered the same thing. Some as a toe-in-the-water measure of what I was up to. Did I mean to make fun of them and expose them as a community of weirdos? Others merely to suggest that it was maybe a touch mean-spirited, but that it was also spot on. Doug Johnson, a breeder of rare spaniels who has twice won Westminster, he bred Stump, perhaps said it best. It's so close to the truth that it's not even funny. Earlier on the day of Stump's surprise triumph, I met a handler who was about to show an American Staffordshire Terrier that had been bred in Thailand, but whose owners had dispatched him by air freight to the United States.